joined by William Russell, the Lord Mayor of London. Very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Daisy. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Is it overstating it? Is it over-egging it to say the city is going to continue to be a ghost town and that's going to do damage to the economy?
I personally think it is. One of the things I've been quoted as saying a number of times is I generally don't believe the office is dead. And all the businesses I talk to say the same thing. However, we do recognise that it is a slow comeback. And this week, on May the 7th, of tomorrow, is a continuation of that comeback that started April the 12th. And then we've got June the 21st, and I've heard that, we'll know more really from June the 14th, once all the data's come in about the new variant. But people are slowly coming back. I think, we've had the hospitality, all the hospitality restaurants that have outdoor facilities have said they are absolutely chocker. And obviously next week people can go inside. There is a little bit, an element of FOMO as people see they're having a good time. People generally, when they are coming back into the office, are enjoying it. However, we also recognize that until the messaging changes from government, then people aren't going to be hurrying back, and it takes time. And then we can also talk about the whole transport situation. But the good news is the Waterloo and City Line, or the Drain, as many of us know it, will be reopening on June the 21st, which is great for the square mile.
Now, I know that that's been something you've been campaigning for a long time, and I do want to talk about transport and the knock-on issues, because obviously we've had stories this week about Network Rail being reimagined and so on, and that will have an impact on commuters into the city. And obviously you're responsible for the city. But just going back to working from home, you talked about messaging there, messaging from the government. And forgive me if I'm putting words in your mouth, but it must be frustrating for you, who wants to see the city come back and people come back to the city and buying their sandwiches and taking their dry cleaning to the laundrette and all those things that keep the local economy going. But meanwhile, the government is not prepared to say when their advice to work from home will end.
Yeah, look, you have to understand the City of London Corporation, chaired, and the chair of policy is Catherine McGuinness, who does a great job linking in with government and with the Mayor of London. We are a public health authority, so we have both sides of the coin, so to speak. So we have to stick very much to the government rules, which I totally respect. But, there have been, I've spoken to many businesses where people have come back into the office because we've always said, if you have to come to the office, in many cases, people need to come to the office because they have a mental health situation. It's part of their well-being that they're coming into the office. So on the week of April the 12th, I went to the Leadenhall building, and before Easter, they'd had 150 and they had 300 coming back. Hey, look, percentages, it's a doubling. It's not nearly the number we would like. But we, as I said, we are recognizing that, we're slowly getting back. In February 2019, we had 525,000 people coming into the office. Look, I think government.
And how many is it now out of? So you had 500,000.
As a percentage, I'd be guessing, to be frank. The data is below 30% is my guess. But, come June the 21st and see what social distancing rules, and the offices are all ready and the spacing of the offices are getting ready, we will get more people back. And we know in September, if I'm being totally frank, we'll get even more back, hopefully, depending on the Indian variant and what happens there. But that definitely seems the plan. But some offices have different views. We all know Goldman Sachs's view, and they're entitled to that, and they want their people back in the office as fast as possible. And I know other companies who are being more flexible, and a lot of their people are working from home. It slightly depends what the job is as well, of course.
I was going to say, isn't there a temptation, though, for bosses who are looking at the bottom line to realise that they can save an awful lot of money by giving up this prime retail in the city and getting people to work from their kitchen tables in Surrey or wherever it is? Therefore, they can save themselves a lot of money, but they're damaging the economy, the local economy in the city, they're also potentially inflicting more inequality between the haves and the have-nots. The haves being people who can work from home successfully and actively want to do it, and the have-nots who are the younger employees who don't have the setup at home. Female employees we know are going to be damaged by this because they're going to end up doing pretty much all the childcare and working from home at the same time. Being passed over for promotion is one of the theories, and also demographically and geographically, we'll have suburban areas that will get a lot more a local economic boost from lots of sort of fairly wealthy people staying at home and using their local amenities, and then other areas of the country that won't get that boost, who have a lot of key workers who have to go out to work and aren't bringing money into that area. So there might be an awful lot of unexplained, unpredictable consequences from this decision, which might be made from businesses, big corporations wanting to save money.
So I think many of the big corporations, the CSOs, totally understand that and are very wary of that. So I don't believe that they're going to go overboard. I do think the hybrid version is probably the version we're looking at. It's the most talked about. And that's going to mean when people come in, and I've already noticed, by the way, and I'm in the Mansion House during the week, is that Mondays and Fridays are very quiet. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, you can already tell the difference in the number of people coming in. So they're going to have to manage that. Yeah. But I think the bosses are very aware of that inequality, and masses of surveys have been done. But one of the things I argue, there's no open door policy over Zoom. Jamie Dimon has said, how much creativity, you can do some creativity from home, but how much creativity can you do on Zoom, where you're talking with each other, whether it's the water cooler conversation, whether it's, to be frank, going to the pub at the end of the day or the wine bar. I remember in my career that was very much some of the best ideas you generated. But also, I would add, the whole coming into the city is going to change. So we're hearing from the likes of some of the hotels, like the Ned, who's just across the road, that they're going to do deals for Tuesday night and Wednesday night, because people will come in on Tuesday. They'll say, this is more than just coming back to the office. It can't be just an office experience. You've got to go. We can go to the Barbican, we go to the theatre, we can go to a restaurant, and we aren't going to do that commute. So we're going to stay the night on Tuesday and Wednesday and go home on Thursday. So you can already see there is a huge change within the way we are going to work. And you and I will have this conversation hopefully and I won't be Lord Mayor then, but we can still have this conversation, Daisy, in 12 months' time, because I do think that as things get better, I'm confident we're actually going to end up having more people coming back. But I do agree the hybrid version is probably the most likely one.